Tell me about the keys to winning tonight.
Grinding it out, man. It's ups and downs throughout the game, but I thought through adversity we stuck together. I did a great job of playing together defensively, closing out the game the right way. So happy we got this win, get ready to go on the road.
The NBA has witnessed countless comeback attempts from aging stars, but what's happening in Denver right now defies all conventional wisdom. When Westbrook signed with the defending champions, the reaction was universal skepticism. Multiple NBA executives privately called it a desperate move that could disrupt the Nuggets' championship chemistry. One anonymous scout even said, "It's like putting a Ferrari engine in a precision Swiss watch. It just doesn't make sense." But those same critics have gone suspiciously quiet over the past few months. The Nuggets are 13-4 with Westbrook as a starter, and the advanced metrics are so shocking that data analysts across the league are scrambling to understand what they're seeing. In an era where efficiency is king, Westbrook and Jokic have formed one of the most statistically dominant partnerships in recent NBA history. When news broke of Westbrook joining Denver, most experts called it desperation.
Russell Westbrook. That position for them was not productive, and part of the reason it was not productive is because John Wall can't shoot, and Reggie was having a bad shooting year, and Russell can't shoot.
A last-gasp attempt by a declining star to stay relevant. The concern seemed logical. How could a guard shooting just 32% from three possibly fit next to Nikola Jokic in a system that thrives on precision? Westbrook's ball-dominant style had clashed with stars like James Harden, Paul George, and even LeBron James. The idea of him adapting to play off the greatest passing big man in NBA history seemed like basketball fantasy. But what happened next exposed just how wrong everyone was about both Westbrook and the Nuggets' master plan. Behind the scenes, Denver's coaching staff had identified something in Westbrook's game that every other team had missed. They saw beyond the declining three-point percentages and turnover numbers, focusing instead on his elite-level speed and basketball IQ, qualities that, if properly channeled, could create defensive nightmares. The transformation began in ways nobody could have predicted. When Westbrook and Jokic share the floor, the Nuggets boast an offensive rating of 126.9, a number so astronomical it sits in the 99th percentile of all NBA lineups. To put this in perspective, this is higher than any lineup the Warriors ran during their dynasty years, more efficient than the Showtime Lakers, and approaching territory that basketball statisticians once thought impossible in the modern NBA. But the truly mind-bending part? They're achieving this with Westbrook, playing a style that completely contradicts everything we thought we knew about him. The same player who once set the NBA record for usage rate is now thriving in a role that often sees him touch the ball less than half as much as he did during his MVP season. Behind closed doors, revolution was taking place. The same Russell Westbrook who once dominated the ball like few players in NBA history was secretly mastering the art of off-ball movement. During practice sessions, teammates watched in amazement as the former MVP worked tirelessly on cutting patterns, timing his movements perfectly with Jokic's passing windows. The evidence of this transformation? He's currently finishing at the rim with the highest efficiency of his entire 15-year career, at age 36. This isn't just unexpected, it's unprecedented in modern basketball history. The deeper you look into the footage, the more remarkable this evolution becomes. While defenders focus obsessively on Jokic in the post, Westbrook has turned into a cutting weapon so lethal that teams are being forced to completely abandon their defensive game plan. His 66.7% shooting on cuts isn't just good, it's elite-level efficiency that's causing defensive coordinators sleepless nights trying to solve this new puzzle. One assistant coach admitted anonymously, "It's like trying to guard two different players at once. You think you know where he's going, and then he appears somewhere completely unexpected." The innovation doesn't stop there. Just when teams thought they had figured out how to defend this duo, Denver unveiled another layer to their masterpiece. They started using Westbrook as a screener in inverted pick and rolls, creating chaos that even the league's best defenses couldn't handle. Picture this, a former MVP setting screens like a center, then exploding to the rim while defenders scramble in confusion. It's basketball innovation that nobody saw coming, and it's changing how teams think about guard play in the modern NBA. What makes this even more unbelievable is what happens when defenses least expect it. While everyone focused on Westbrook's well-documented shooting struggles, he quietly transformed into one of the NBA's deadliest corner three-point shooters. From the corners, he's shooting a staggering 45%, ranking in the 96th percentile league-wide. This isn't just a small sample size fluke either. It's the result of countless hours of targeted practice and a complete reimagining of where and when to take shots. The transition game has become another weapon entirely. When Westbrook grabs a rebound, opposing teams face an impossible choice. Try to stop his full-speed attack and leave Jokic open, or focus on Jokic and give one of the most explosive players in NBA history a runway to the rim. This partnership has pushed Denver into the top 10 in transition points, creating easy baskets that championship teams thrive on. The speed at which they can turn defense into offense has become a nightmare for opposing coaches trying to game plan against them. But perhaps the most shocking revelation came in the numbers nobody was tracking. In clutch moments, when the pressure is highest, the Westbrook-Jokic combination has been nearly unstoppable. Their net rating in these situations rivals some of the greatest duos in NBA history, and they've only been playing together for months. The chemistry they've developed in such a short time defies conventional basketball wisdom about how long it takes stars to learn to play together. The impact extends far beyond the statistics. Westbrook's legendary work ethic has had a ripple effect throughout the organization. Young players on the team have spoken about how seeing a former MVP putting in extra hours in the gym has raised the standard for everyone. His willingness to adapt his game has set a new benchmark for veteran leadership, showing that even the most accomplished players can evolve. The defensive end of the floor tells another fascinating story. While much of the focus has been on the offensive fireworks, Westbrook's ability to pressure opposing guards full court has added a new dimension to Denver's defense. His combination of strength and speed allows him to disrupt defensive sets before they even begin, creating chaos that the Nuggets can capitalize on. With Aaron Gordon now returning to the lineup, speculation is growing about Westbrook's role moving forward. But here's what most are missing. The Nuggets haven't just added a backup point guard. They've discovered a blueprint for how aging stars can transform their games and remain elite contributors. In a league obsessed with youth and potential, Westbrook is writing a new chapter that could change how we think about veteran players adapting their games. The implications for the rest of the league are staggering. Teams watching Westbrook's renaissance are already rethinking their approach to veteran players. Instead of viewing declining stars as salary cap burdens, front offices are studying Denver's model of role transformation. The question being asked in front offices around the league isn't whether this can be replicated, but who might be the next star to undergo a similar metamorphosis. The Russell Westbrook in Denver isn't the same player who won MVP in Oklahoma City. He's something entirely different and, in many ways, even more dangerous. His game has evolved from a force of nature into a precision instrument capable of striking at exactly the right moment with devastating effect. For a player many thought was finished, this isn't just a comeback story. It's a complete reinvention that's sending shockwaves through the NBA and forcing everyone to question what they thought they knew about basketball evolution. The mental aspect of this transformation cannot be overlooked. For a player who was once criticized for being stubborn and set in his ways, Westbrook's willingness to completely rebuild his game speaks to a level of self-awareness and dedication that few saw coming. He's shown that the hardest thing for a star to do isn't achieving greatness. It's being willing to change everything about your game to achieve it again in a different way. As the Nuggets defend their championship, they've not only added a key piece to their puzzle, they've created a basketball experiment that's working better than anyone could have imagined. The synergy between Westbrook and Jokic has become a case study in how different playing styles can not only coexist, but enhance each other. Their partnership is redefining what's possible when players are willing to adapt and coaches are creative enough to maximize their strengths. Looking ahead, the potential seems limitless. As Westbrook continues to master his new role, the Nuggets' ceiling as a team keeps rising. His presence has given them a different gear they can shift into, a change of pace that makes them even more unpredictable than during their championship run. In crucial moments, they now have multiple ways to attack defenses, with Westbrook providing an explosive element that complements Jokic's methodical brilliance. The question isn't whether Westbrook can still contribute at an elite level anymore. The question now is, how did everyone miss what Denver saw? And more importantly, what other secrets are the defending champions hiding as they push for another title? As the season progresses, one thing has become clear. Writing off Russell Westbrook was more than just a mistake. It was a failure to understand that true greatness isn't about doing the same things forever. It's about having the courage to reinvent yourself when the moment demands it. This story is still being written, and its final chapters might be the most compelling yet. For now, the NBA watches in amazement as one of its most iconic players proves that sometimes the most impressive victories aren't won through domination, but through adaptation. In Denver, Russell Westbrook isn't just extending his career. He's redefining what's possible for stars willing to evolve their game.